A very good morning, students. Welcome to the online classes on add-on course PHP. So PHP stands for Hypertext Processor. So in this semester, in the second semester, as part of your Big Data Analytics Club course, we are offering this add-on course on PHP language. So far, prior to the commencement of your academics in engineering in BE, we have done one a bridge course on Microsoft Excel. So we studied different concepts in Microsoft Excel, and using Excel, how we can create charts, tables, the visualization of data, representation of data. We have studied over there in your bridge course. After that, we have done one add-on course in your first semester on structured query language SQL. Okay, so it is a database management system, your SQL language. We have seen how we can create tables, how we can retrieve the information more effectively with the help of this SQL. This SQL, we said, we basically use to interact or communicate with databases. And under Oracle, we have seen this SQL. How we write the queries to interact with the Oracle database that we have seen. So far, not only these database concepts, but you people are quite familiar with HTML and CSS as well. During your bridge course as well as in the first semester, you people have studied the HTML and CSS concepts. Using HTML, how we can create the web pages, and how we can make our web pages more stylish and more interactive. All those things we have seen. Creating the login pages, creating the registration pages, creating your info pages, all those things we have seen. But as far as the web pages you people have created, those pages are static pages. Even if you have created the login page with the username, password, followed by two buttons, one is for reset and the other one is for submit, those buttons are passive. Those pages are passive pages, they are not active pages. You have not provided any links to that submit button, to that reset button, and when you are entering the proper data, user ID and password, and when you are clicking on that submit button, it has to perform some sort of operation, isn't it? It has to go, it has to show some kind of activity over there. But you might have seen, when you have created the login page or when you have created the registration page, those pages are completely passive, they are not active. Even if you enter some data over there and when you are clicking the submit button, it is not doing anything for you. So because we have not done the proper scripting for that one, for those pages to become active. So over here, as part of this PHP hypertext processor language, we exactly do that one. We make our pages, we make our web pages more interactive, or we can say more dynamic. Okay, as you people will change the information into the database, or as the information changes in real time, your web pages will also show the dynamic content. Based on the information change, your web pages will also change. So we can make your login pages, we can make your registration pages, or whatever information processing pages you are creating inside your website. All those pages will become alive now, become informative now, become dynamic now. So if you know if you have the knowledge of this PHP, more likely we do server side scripting using this PHP. So if you know how to perform server side scripting, and using this server side scripting only, we learn how to link HTML with Excel, HTML with SQL. Okay, once you link whatever data you have inside the database, that data you can display on a web page. Or we can say, if you have the login information, login credentials of the users inside the database, using that database you can make your web page, I mean login page, active, so that whatever information inside the login database we have, login credentials inside the database we have, if you enter any of those credentials into the login page, then only you will be able to enter into the website. Otherwise it will simply block your access from the website. So hopefully you are understanding what I'm trying to explain over here. So that sort of advantage we are going to gain, that sort of knowledge we are going to gain when we do this type of PHP scripting or server side scripting. Okay. So in today's session, I'll be giving only the overview of this course. We are not going to deal any concepts. From tomorrow onwards, I mean tomorrow also we'll do the setup, complete setup for executing this PHP scripting. And after that, from the next week, we actually starts the course. Okay, today's it is an introductory session. Tomorrow, environment setup, and from next week we actually get into the concepts. And I suggest all the students of first year to give importance to this type of courses, to learn whatever concepts we are teaching over here, to practice the concepts, because they are the actual concepts what you are going to work on inside industries. When you go for software development after the completion of your BE, definitely this type of knowledge will help you a lot. Creating the websites, okay, creating dynamic websites and all, okay, logic processing and all. Uh, you will come to know, once you enter into the market, you will come to know the importance of such add-on courses, such bridge courses. Okay, so this course, PHP hypertext processor, we are offering as a add-on course in this second semester, and this course is from Big Data Analytics Club. Okay, it is a club under CSC department, and we are offering this course as part of Big Data Analytics Club activity. Okay, and the mentor for this course is myself. Okay, so about this PHP course, exactly I have given some sort of idea, but now here we see the step-by-step process. I mean, how we get into the course and how we complete this course. The entire idea I'm trying to give over here. So about this PHP course, so it is completely open source. Hypertext processor or PHP scripting, it is completely open source. Open source means it is free to use. Anybody can download these PHP compilers or PHP processors from the internet, and you can start scripting by your own. No need to purchase the license, or no need to get the permission from a company, grant from a company likewise. It is purely open source PHP. So you can easily download it from the internet, and you can start writing the programs, writing the scripting inside this PHP. Okay, and how this PHP is helpful in the sense, in order to create the dynamic websites, okay, more interactive websites. So built dynamic web applications, not the static web pages as you have done in HTML and CSS, but you can make those web pages more interactive. That is nothing but dynamic. Dynamic in the sense, based on the information, based on the processing, you will get different views. Suppose if I log in into the website as a user, I will get some different home page for my account. And if somebody else with is going to log in, because Facebook is the best example. Facebook, you might have seen, the interface is same for all the Facebook users, but when it comes to their home pages, but when it comes to their walls, everybody is going to have different wall, isn't it? Based on their login, they are going to get a different Facebook wall homepage. So here also same thing, like In that same way, you can create more interactive websites with the help of server-side scripting. Okay, so you will also learn the syntax and semantics of PHP language, how we are going to use all the programming constructs, because it is also a programming language. PHP, it is a scripting language, it is a server-side scripting language, moreover it is a programming language. So definitely it is going to have syntax, its own syntax and its own semantics that we need to learn. Okay, as part of this course we are going to practice the complete syntax and semantics of this PHP language, okay, including a discussion on the practical problems that PHP solves. I mean, we will take some real-time examples and we try to solve those real-time examples with the help of PHP. Real-time problems in the sense we are not going to take any what we call the current projects from the industries. We will take like simple calculations like finding the matrix addition, factorial, printing Fibonacci series. Likewise, we'll take simple examples and we'll try to solve those examples with the help of PHP language. That thing we have already done in C language, and we see the difference between solving in C language and solving in PHP. Okay, so that type of thing we'll do over here. Then last point, if you see, write server-side cross-platform HTML embedded scripts. Okay, cross-platform. When I'm saying cross-platform, so whatever we do inside a web application development, it should be cross-platform. So why I'm saying cross-platform, in the sense it should support all the devices, your mobile devices, your laptops working on Windows, laptops working on Macintosh, laptops working on Linux, okay, laptops working on Ubuntu, whatever operating system you're taking, your web application, it should be cross platform. Because when we are saying web application, we are going to deploy that web application over the internet, and using internet any device can access your web application. So it should support all the multiple devices, all the different devices. Then only we call such an application as a web application, isn't it? So whatever coding we do using this PHP server side coding, it should be cross platform, it should be independent of the platform. Okay, so write server side cross platform HTML embedded scripts to implement dynamic web pages that interacts with databases and files. This is going to be our main motto, primary motto behind learning this PHP. Okay, why we are learning this PHP, in the sense, in order to understand how we can interact with databases and how we can interact with files with the help of web pages. So if you are developing a web page, inside that web page, how you can interact with the database. Okay, so as you know, the complete information where we are storing in the backend. So let me just delete this one. Okay, the complete information we are storing in the database, and the database, how we are showing, like this, isn't it? So this is our database. For generally like this we show our database. So if this is my database, so I'm having one web application, I'm developing one web application. So let us assume I'm writing one login page over here. Inside that login page, we are going to have two fields. One is username and the other one is password. Let us assume this is user and this is password. And under it, we are going to have two buttons. One is the submit button and other one is the reset or cancel button. Okay, whenever we are entering some credentials over here, some user credentials, that is nothing but user password and username and user password. After that, we will click on the submit button. So when you click on the submit button, what it has to do, so whatever credentials you have entered over here, it quickly goes to the database and it needs to check those credentials in the database. So in the database, we are going to have all the credentials, all the user details. Okay, user 1 followed by his password, then user 2 followed by his password. Likewise, we are going to have all n number of users. Finally, the user n and then the equivalent password. Likewise, we are going to have all n user details inside the database, where we are going to have all these details in the form of a table we are going to have inside the database. So when a particular user is entering the credentials over here, let us say I'm entering some user 3 followed by his correct password and correct user details I have entered. So then when I'm clicking the submit button, immediately this web page has to go to the database, has to interact with the database, and has to retrieve all these details and has to compare these details, this user 3 credentials, with these details, whether these details are existing over there or not. If the details are existing, if the user 3 is existing over here, then what will happen? Immediately it should redirect. I mean, the login page should redirect to some other important page, some other information page. So likewise, this is what happens inside your Facebook, isn't it? Whenever you are entering the correct credentials, the login page will redirect you to the home page. Let us assume if you are not entering the details correctly, you are giving some wrong information, some user n plus 1 and equivalent password you are entering. The user n plus 1 is not here. We have up to user n only. So now I'm entering user n plus 1 with password. So ultimately these details are not there in the database. So what should happen? Whenever you are entering these credentials and clicking on submit button, the web page is going to interact with the database, and inside the database it will not find these credentials. So immediately what it has to do, it has to give some error message over here that these credentials are not there in the database, or it is, yeah, this user, whatever you are trying to enter, this is an invalid user. Like this, it has to give some proper information, invalid user. Likewise, so how the computer is going to perform all these things, I mean the web page is going to perform all these things in the sense with the help of PHP, that is hypertext processing. Okay, the server side scripting, we basically do this entire thing at server side. Okay, so the next thing, the course outcomes, what exactly the student is going to learn after the completion of this PHP course, in the sense after completion of this course, the students will be able to, yeah, the first point, ultimately you know how to write the PHP scripts to handle HTML forms. So that login page, whatever example I have given just now, it is an HTML form only. Okay, what is HTML form? You might be studied in your HTML bridge course. Okay, so to handle that HTML form, we need to do the scripting, and that scripting we will do with the help of PHP. Okay, so you will be able to do PHP scripting to handle the HTML forms. Then we also learn the regular expressions, okay, including modifiers, operators, and meta characters. So this is something client side scripting. Okay, so handling, I mean writing the regular expressions to handle all these things, it is something like client side scripting. That client side scripting, to some extent we will learn. We focus more on server side scripting, but to some extent we also do the client side scripting. So if you focus, I mean if you want to learn the complete client side scripting, that you can do with the help of JavaScript. Okay, JavaScript is a client side scripting language. If you learn in detail the concepts which are included in JavaScript, you will be able to do the scripting inside the client machine. But whereas PHP, it is a server side scripting language. To some extent we can do the client side scripting also in PHP. That also we are going to learn. Okay, so we call it as validation, HTML validation, that we will see in PHP also. So next thing, creating PHP programs that uses various PHP library functions and that manipulate files and directories. So how to do the manipulation of files and directories with the help of PHP scripting, that also we will see. So analyze and solve various database tasks using PHP language. So how we are going to interact with the database, how we are going to retrieve the data from the database and display on a web page, and how we are going to make your login page, your registration page functional. All those things we will see. I mean, all those things you will learn. Next thing, analyze and solve common web application tasks by writing PHP programs. So common web application tasks are nothing but doing the interaction with the database and retrieving the information from the database and printing the data on the web page. All these things are some of the common tasks which we perform with the help of web applications. And after completion of this PHP course, the students will be able to do all those things, okay, in PHP. So these are the course outcomes, 5 course outcomes of your hypertext processor PHP. So the prerequisites, if you see, I mean, what sort of knowledge the student need to have before proceeding with this PHP course, in the sense, this PHP training, whatever we are giving as part of this add-on course, it is important for everyone. It is valuable for everyone, okay, who needs to learn server-side scripting. If you have the enthusiasm of learning server-side scripting, definitely you have to go through the concepts which we deal inside this PHP, okay. And what exactly the prerequisite for learning this PHP, in the sense, you need to have the understanding of relational database that we have already done, okay, as part of your first sem add-on course, that is SQL, structured query language. There we have studied, there we know the concepts of relational database. Relation is nothing but your table, okay, how to create a table in SQL, how to manipulate a table in SQL, how to create the records inside a table, how to delete, how to update, everything we are quite familiar, okay. We know how to interact with the database in SQL. So that same thing we will do over here also in PHP. But in SQL, whatever what we call whatever retrieval of data we have done, we displayed the data over there itself, inside the command line itself. We have not displayed the data on the web page. But now we learn how to make the connectivity between the web application and the database, and how to write the queries to the database, how to retrieve the data from the database, and how to print that data on a web page. Everything we will see in PHP, okay. So that relational database understanding is required, as well as some basic programming knowledge is also required. So relational database knowledge you got from SQL course, and basic programming knowledge you got from C programming. So now you have both the prerequisites, the knowledge of relational database as well as the knowledge of programming concepts. So I don't think you need to wait for something else before completing this PHP. You have the complete prerequisites, so you can easily get into this PHP and you can easily complete this PHP. Okay, so these are the topics which we are going to cover inside this add-on course PHP. So I have subdivided all the concepts which we are going to study, which we are going to learn inside this PHP under 10 chapters, and every week we are going to complete one chapter. Okay, every week we are taking 2 sessions. So hopefully we will cover one chapter. So 10 chapters, so 10 weeks we require. We try to wind up as early as possible. We'll not wait for 10 what we call weeks. The maximum number of sessions I have taken over here. So I said I need 20 sessions, 22 sessions in order to complete, because I need 4 sessions to do some hands-on training. So this hands-on training, how we will do means, I will make a Zoom meeting. I mean, complete live sessions will do these 4 sessions, and over there I will give you the idea of how to do the development of web pages, dynamic web pages, interactive web pages. Okay. So overall I need 22 sessions. If you exclude these 4 real-time sessions, so I need only 18 sessions to complete the entire overall syllabus. Okay. So first, as we are doing the introduction now, so we also, I mean, from our next session we learn the common uses of PHP. So what exactly this PHP is intended for, and what sort of important things are there to learn inside this PHP that we discuss. The uses of PHP we discuss, then the characteristics of PHP we discuss, the environment setup. As I said, the environment setup we'll do in our next session, that is tomorrow, Sunday's session. Tomorrow at 2 p.m. again we are going to have one session. Over there I will explain how to do the environment setup for PHP, because without the environment setup it is not possible to execute PHP programs. Okay, then we have simple programs. So this environment setup and simple programs will do in tomorrow's session. Okay, so remaining common uses of PHP and characteristics of PHP and remaining concepts will start from next week. Then we have the syntax overview. So the comments, the variables in PHP, the constants in PHP, operators, decision making statements, loops, they are all quite similar to your C language. So whatever variable concepts we discussed, whatever constant concepts, whatever comments concepts, operators, decision making, loops. Decision making is nothing but your if else statements. Then loops are nothing but while loop, for loop, do while loop. All these things will wind up in 2 sessions. Syntax overview. Okay, next we discuss the arrays concept. Okay, we have like numeric arrays, associative arrays, and multidimensional arrays along with string concepts. This thing in another 2 sessions I will wind up. So how we can use the arrays in PHP, that is numerical arrays, associative arrays, and multidimensional arrays. All these things and along with strings concepts we'll discuss in another 2 sessions. Then we'll get into, after the arrays we are not going any further in the programming constructs concept, and quickly we are going for web concepts. We'll start the web concepts from 4th chapter onwards, and over there we will see how to identify the browser and platform. So whatever browser you are using, it has to be identified by the scripting language, and the platform, it must also be identified by the scripting language. So how to do that one, and how we can display simple images by doing some server-side scripting, and how we can create HTML forms, and using that HTML forms how we can do the redirection. Everything we will discuss in 4th chapter, that is web concepts. Then we have the post and get methods. Get and post methods along with file inclusions. How we can do a file inclusion inside your HTML form, that we will discuss in 5th chapter. Get, post, and file inclusion. So that there about get method, about post method, and request variables, include and request methods. All these are some predefined stuffs in PHP that we will cover inside your 5th chapter. Okay, then files. What is a file? How we can do input output to a file, that we will study in your 6th chapter. So introduction to files, opening and closing files, reading a file, and writing a file. These things we'll discuss in another 2 sessions. Okay, so next, the concept of function. It is another programming construct in PHP. Functions. So creating functions, passing parameters to functions, returning values from functions, and dynamic functions calls. How you can call the function dynamically. It is a new concept in PHP that also we will study, which this we have not done in C. See, creating functions we already know from C. Passing parameters to functions, this is also we have done in C. Returning values from functions, that also we have done in C. But this dynamic function call, it is a new thing in PHP, that also we will discuss. Next thing is the cookies and sessions. So processing of sessions. So whenever you are visiting a bank website, let us assume you have opened your your account. Okay, using your credentials, you opened your internet banking portal. So after some time, what will happen if you're not doing any kind of activity on that web page? What will happen? After some seconds or after some minutes, what will happen? The bank website page, bank website portal, it will automatically logged out, isn't it? Because the session will get expired over there, expire over there. So because of that session expiry, what will happen? You will get a warning message that your session has been expired, re-login. So how the websites are going to maintain those sessions with the help of cookies and with the help of sessions, we will discuss. Okay, the active session, how the websites are going to maintain active sessions, that we will discuss in cookies and sessions concept. So introduction to session based programming, creating cookies, reading and deleting cookies, starting a session, destroying a session, session without cookies. All these concepts we will see under 8th chapter, that is sessions and cookies. It is also one of the important topic. See, doing server side scripting. Okay, you may get a doubt that with the help of PHP only we can do, or there are other alternatives. Yeah, if this is your question, we have a lot of alternatives using which we can do the server side scripting. So not only PHP, you can go with uh, JSPs, Java Server Pages. Okay, you can go with struts. It is a framework. It is a complete framework to do server side programming. Struts. You also have servlets. Okay, you also have servlets. Using servlets also you can do the server side scripting. You can also have in Java, you also have the concept called get and post methods. So using that get and post methods also you can do server side programming in Java. Okay, so these are all alternatives for server side programming. So why I have selected PHP in the sense, because this is the initial basic one. Okay, we have a lot of advanced tools to do server side programming. We're not going with those advanced tools. We will go with PHP first. We'll gain the knowledge of PHP. I mean, what are the basics we need to learn first? So with this PHP understanding, we'll try to learn those basics. And once we are good in basics, we can go for a framework as well, like struts, like JSPs, like servlets. Okay, all these things we can do. Hopefully you understood. So the next concept, the validations. The 9th chapter is validations. I'm not going to focus more on these validations because it is a very vast, a separate add-on course we can run on these validations. Validations basically we do with the help of JavaScript. Okay, JavaScript is more advantageous, or JavaScript is more flexible to do the validation work. PHP is not. But even though, as I have already started the PHP, I will try to give the knowledge, some of the knowledge of validations in PHP. So these validations are nothing but it is client-side scripting. It is not server-side scripting. It is client-side scripting. So very soon, inshallah, in our next session only, I will give the clarity on what is client-side scripting and what is server-side scripting, and how these two things are different. Where exactly the code written for client-side scripting will execute, and where exactly the code written for server-side scripting will execute. So it is two different portions, two different concepts. Client-side scripting code will execute at one place, and server-side scripting code will execute at another place. Okay, so all these things we'll study. So the next, the 10th chapter, projects are hands-on training. It is completely hands-on training, so it will be an interactive session. So by collaborating the knowledge of MS Excel, SQL, HTML, CSS and PHP, whatever bridge courses we have done so far, or whatever add-on courses we have done so far, including the PHP, we'll try to develop some important applications, some interactive applications, some dynamic applications. So one such application is simply creating a login page and making it dynamic. So the login page we will see, then the registration page, how we can create a registration page and how we can make it interactive, then displaying the user information from the database. Okay, we are going to store some users information like his age, his salary, his address, like some records we will create inside a database, and we try to display that database information onto a web page with the help of PHP. Next, Facebook page example. That is nothing but for every user we are going to have a different type of wall. How we do that one? Exactly, it is more what we call a realistic kind of thing, real-time kind of experience you will get when you do these website developments. Okay, then file upload example, how we are going to upload a file for a website, and if you upload that file, where exactly it is going to store, and when you try to download that file, how it is going to be available for you for the download. all those things we will see. And this file upload example, it is a more complex example. It will take one entire one session. Okay, so with this we try to conclude the PHP, and I will give the complete privilege to you after this discussion. The complete privilege to you. You have to run the imaginations, and you have to develop some nice projects, some important projects in this PHP course. Okay, based on your performance, definitely we are going to award. I mean, already you might have seen we have done one such a thing in Excel and HTML. Again, after the completion of PHP, because here we are doing the collaborative work. So once you are good in all these concepts, you will be able to develop some nice applications, nice web applications. If you perform well and if you come up with a good project with a good idea, definitely we are nowhere we are going to discourage you people. We are going to encourage you with proper award or reward. Okay, thank you very much students, and try to show the enthusiasm, interest in fulfilling this course as well along with your academics. This add-on course is also equally important. Okay, thank you very much.